For good or bad, just about anything and everything is on Reddit, even natural hair. So I stumbled across the space on Reddit where people are asking for advice on their natural hair. And I said, you know what? Let me actually react to this in video form. So here you have reacting to natural hair Reddit. Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel where I help frustrated naturals simplify their hair care so that they can do less and get more results. And so hopefully I'm able to help some of these people on Reddit do less if they do stumble across my video and decide to take the advice. Now, of course, all my advice comes with a complimentary grain of salt, because who am I? I'm a person on the internet. Let's be real about that. So anyway, I thought this first one was interesting. This person is asking about the Denman D14 mini styler brush. So, okay. Now that I think I found what products work for me, I've decided to work on technique. Okay. I've heard the Denman is good for definition and have seen how a few people use it to define their curls. However, I have yet to see someone with coils use this same technique. When I went to the Denman website, they recommended a D14 mini since I want definition, have coils, and shorter hair above my ears. So what are y'all's opinion? So I'm going to include a picture of the brush that they're asking about on here so you guys can see exactly the same thing that I saw, and that's kind of where my thinking is coming from on this. But I feel like this brush is very, very similar to the brush that the natural hair community loves to use when they're styling for definition. That's the brush with the 9 rows on it. And because this brush is so similar, literally the only difference is that it just has a couple of less rows, which most naturals who use that brush that has all the rows, most of them take out every other row anyway to decrease the number of rows, making it a little more similar to the brush that this person is asking about. Except they probably don't have to take rows out. So they could, if they want to find videos of type 4 hair using this brush, they could just look at videos of people using the other brush, just to solve their issue of not seeing videos. But I will say this, a common complaint that I see from people who have like super curly hair when using Denman style brushes to define their hair is people often complain about having super curly, coily defined ends, and then the like mid shafts and roots of their hair, or just the roots of their hair, is puffy. So that's my only thing. I'm like, now that you said that you found your products that you want to use, and like now you're going to work on your technique. I feel like work on your technique without the brush. Work on your technique without the brush, just because these brushes don't work for everyone. I have seen them go really great for some people's hair and really crappy for other people's hair. And furthermore, it's just an additional step when you're on your wash day to have to use this brush for definition and then put it down and get the next section and do all that, when you could just get good definition with just your hands. And I know that surprises some people when they come to my channel as to why I don't use tools to define my hair, but y'all, it's just frizzy. It just makes my hair so freaking frizzy, where I get pretty decent separation and definition with just styling without a tool. So this next one I thought was pretty interesting because it's called How to Help a Student. It is written from the point of view of a teacher. If you are new here to the channel, I was a public school teacher for 9 years. I had a certification in grades K through 6. So I did teach 4th grade, 5th grade, and then I ended my career teaching 6th grade for quite a few years. Primarily, I was a math and science teacher. I did one time teach all subjects. That was when I taught the 4th grade the first time in the state of Delaware. I'm certified to teach in 3 states, and my license in Florida is still good. I'm just not currently using it. So there's a little bit about me before we talk about helping a student. Hello, I'm a 3rd grade teacher in a predominantly white town. One of my students lives in a group home and frequently comes into school with matted hair. I've tried untangling his hair with my hands and combs, but I never have enough time, and he comes in the next day having chopped off the matted parts. Poor baby. I'm looking for advice on how to help him. What products work best and will help untangle his hair? I think his hair is 4C. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I think that the teacher is probably not black. I think the teacher is probably not black, but she knows enough about natural hair terms and enough about hair that she knew to go onto this Reddit for natural hair, and she knew to sprinkle in a couple terms like 4C and stuff like that, and she knew to point out that it is a predominantly white area. So I think the teacher might actually be white. I don't know. It's not super relevant to my answer, but it was something that I thought as I was reading this. Now look, how to help a student? Don't. And that is coming from my advice as a seasoned, not all the way seasoned, because I'm still young, and I ain't do over a decade. I did almost a decade, but I'm gonna tell you, do not help a student. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. Okay, this can get you in hot water as a teacher. Folks are funny about when it comes to you putting your hands on children, even if it's for something positive like helping their hair. Folks will try to say all types of stuff about you that's not even true and try to get you in trouble when all you want to do is help the baby. I'm telling you, don't put yourself in that risky situation. I'm gonna tell you right now. Tread lightly with that as a professional. Listen, I don't even hug children. They come in for a hug, I turn to the side, let them get a little Christian side hug in. I'm not finna hug them all the way. First of all, I am young and I'm good looking. I am not fit to give anybody any type of fuel that they can use against me. I'm sorry, but that is the nature of education right now. Your best bet with helping this student is to not help them. At least not directly, and we'll get into the indirect ways that you can work with this student. So what this student needs is beyond what you can do in a classroom. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This kid's hair needs water. And I'm not talking about no spray bottle water, a little bit of sprinkle of water or whatever. No, this child's hair needs a full-on drenching in shower or sink water. They need shampoo. Okay, the kid's hair is not hydrated, so it needs full water saturation and soakeration. Shampoo applied to remove anything that's on the hair that could be blocking it from receiving the full moisture that it could receive. This child's hair needs detangling product applied. This child's hair needs careful and focused detangling methods beyond what you can provide in a classroom setting and beyond what you can provide in the time period that you probably have with this kid on a regular basis. Furthermore, even if you were able to provide this hypothetical situation, you were able to provide all these things that this kid's hair needs, it's not going to be long lasting, because this kid actually needs this to be done on a regular basis. They are in this situation because this is not regularly being done. So after you get it untangled and you do all this, even if you are possibly able to do this, he just gonna come back with matted hair again. It's just gonna continue to be matted. See what I'm saying? So here you are continuing trying to fix it, and it's gonna keep getting unfixed. I'm telling you, that's gonna get old real fast. Now here's two options that you can do. First of all, this child is probably receiving some sort of services at the school. Okay, I had a child, he had really bad BO. I'm talking, y'all, thankfully it was the last class of the day, when that AC get to blowing and blowing the funk all around the classroom. And the other kids, they knew not to say nothing because they know Miss V, don't you say nothing about that boy. That was me all day. Like, don't you say nothing about him. And this particular child was in some sort of situation too, where his home life wasn't all the way like, traditional, And so he received services at the school. So I went and spoke to the person that provided the services and had the connection to the home. Okay. So this child, if they are in a group home, they are probably receiving some school level services, whether that be a counselor or something like that. Speak to that person so that they can either communicate with the child and give them some resources, or they can communicate with the adults at the group home and get this child some services. See what I'm saying? So speak to the people that are in charge of this child and the school connection. Now, if you're really, really bold, what you can also do is make contact with the adults that are at the home. So these are his people. He doesn't have parents, but these are basically the parents because they are responsible for him. Contact the people at the home directly if you really bad about it, if you're really bold in these streets, and try to help the child that way, because what he needs is something that needs to be done in the home, and it needs to be done consistently, and you as a teacher are on the chopping block to possibly get in trouble. That's just the way it is. Should we do another one? Should we do one more? I think we should, okay? So this one is called Advice for Box Braiding and I think 3F means like three female 3-year-old daughter's hair. Okay. Already from a title, some of y'all are having a reaction. I didn't, because I didn't read the title. I read the title, the actual content before I read the title the first time I read it. So I did not have that reaction, but I know some of y'all are having a certain reaction to that already. So I'm 26F, so 26-year-old female. Am Caucasian and have a mixed daughter who is African, Panamanian, and white with silky hair like mine. However, she has kinky curly hair with different curl patterns all around. This description is kind of unclear to me. I'm not really sure of the direct type of the daughter's hair because it's not silky and then kinky curly at the same time. So I'm assuming that mama don't have curls, baby girl has curls, but the hair is still silky. So I'm thinking silky hair with curls is what I'm thinking, because why else would she say? She says silky like mine. So I'm thinking, you know, silky curls. Okay. When wet, her hair goes down to her mid-lower back, and when dry, it reaches just the bottom of her shoulder blades. I've been teaching myself to properly care for her hair and promised myself I would be the only person to touch and style her hair. So first of all, I am really happy that the mom has been teaching herself how to care for her daughter's hair. That is awesome. That is going to go a long way for the daughter feeling more confident about her hair and feeling like her hair is special and that her hair is cared for. I love that. But why do you feel like you got to be the only person to touch your hair though? I am just saying, that's kind of interesting that you vow that you've been the only person that's going to touch her hair, just because I feel like even black moms who maybe do know how to do their child's hair to some degree, and I think I've mentioned in a previous video, I have a black mom that does not know how to do hair. Girl, she is clueless, okay? My mommy took me to the salon, okay, because she didn't know what she was doing. So I feel like even black moms who know how to do hair, there's probably some things they don't know how to do, so they still take their kid to the salon and go get that done. Like, I know a lot of people take their kids to get their hair braided because, believe it or not, braids like box braids, that's a specialty. And they're better done by people who have the skill. And it doesn't mean that you failed as a mom or you failed as the white mom learning how to take care of your child's hair, or that you haven't done enough. Because I feel like that's where this is coming from. Like, you feel like, you know, you're giving up or showing that you haven't done anything by going to get your child some box braids. Like, mommy, you can wash and shampoo and condition and take great care of your child's hair, and it's still okay to outsource to get some braids. But I may be reading into that, I will admit, because this is just text on the internet. So moving on. Up until now, I've done basic styles and braids because I felt she was too young for a real protective style. Yeah, okay. Now that she's almost 3, I feel it's time to start getting her used to them. Okay, so when I came to that part, that's when I realized that the child was 3. I didn't read the title, as I said, guys. So when at the point I realized the child was 3, I was like, 3? So I think it's interesting that the mom feels like she has to start getting her child used to protective styles. It sounds to me like you think your child has to wear protective styles because she has this mixture of cultures. She has to wear protective style. And see, that's why I always kind of a little when I hear the term protective style, because it almost makes it seem like for black women to grow long, healthy hair, we have to protect our weak, fragile hair and wear these protective styles. Now, that's fine if you like these alternative styles. That's great. But I feel like certain people read into that, they see the world and they interpret it the way this mom seems to have interpreted it, as if her daughter has to wear protective styles. And so now, well, at 3, let's get her used to it because she needs to wear these styles. I don't know. I'm going to start simple and do, it says no braids, but I'm not really, do braids. I know she says she wants box braids, so I'm thinking that's what she means. So do braids for her 3rd birthday coming up. I ordered beads, bonnets, edge control, rat tail comb, black rubber bands, and the beading tool. So I'm pretty sure I have everything I need. I was thinking, why does a kid need edge control? A 3-year-old does not need edge control. My questions are, so that's before she even gets to her questions that she has. So, number one, all the tutorial videos I see include braiding in false hair. I'm not sure if that's appropriate given her age. It's not. It's not. But we'll do it if there's a necessary reason to. Typically, some people do it for length, but I know that when I started getting hair that was like extension hair and stuff like that added into my braids, it was to improve the longevity of the style. So I had armpit length relaxed hair, and I had armpit length natural pressed hair when I was a kid. So I typically would just get them straight out. Like I wanted straight backs with my real hair. That's typically what I requested, and typically what my mom would get for the summer months. But then eventually they did start adding hair because they were like, it makes the style last longer and it doesn't get as frizzy. Her hair is a little wispy on the ends, so I'm not sure if that's a factor, but fake hair or no fake hair, and why? So of course I've just said no fake hair. I don't think it's appropriate for a 3-year-old. I think that it will add weight to the hair. You also said that your child has silky hair like you. I feel like the weight of that is going to slip out anyway. And you gonna spend money on fake hair for what? And the style gonna look a mess because it's gonna be heavier and it's going to slip down. If you must box braid your child's hair, do it with her real hair because it has a chance of staying in longer, especially because you said your child has silky hair. Next, since her hair is more so on the fine side, what's a good length of time to keep her hair in the protective style? Most professional braiders and professional hairstylists do not recommend going beyond 8 weeks with these styles. So that's the standard advice. However, they are talking about people with kinky hair. They're talking about people with hair like mine. I feel like your child's hair is not going to last that long. It's silky. It's not going to last that long. The braids, it's going to be looking rough, and depends on how much you care about what they look like on whether or not you're going to be willing to keep that style in. I also feel like you're not able to properly shampoo and condition your hair when it is fully braided. You can clean braided hair, but it's not getting the full experience that it should be getting on a regular basis, which is why the hairstylists recommend that you take it down so that you can do that on a regular basis and then take a break and then get another set of braids. That's why people recommend that you don't keep them in too long, but people do anyway. Y'all see the internet. So she generally doesn't like things on her head, but I'd like to get her used to sleeping with bonnets on regularly to keep her hair while she sleeps. Any tips? The big tip that I would give you is to buy a child-sized bonnet. They have bonnets that are in the beauty supply store that are full size and whatnot, but I feel like they can fit awkwardly on children's heads. Child bonnets will be more appropriate size, and they also have fun, cool patterns, and so they feel fun wearing them, like, oh, I'm wearing My Little Pony on my head, you know. However, I don't really feel like a 3-year-old necessarily needs a bonnet. My niece is 3 years old, and I don't believe she wears a bonnet, though her mommy wears a bonnet. Like, mom wears a bonnet, but you know what I mean? And also another option is you can wear a bonnet. Girl, white folks wear bonnets now. I be seeing the white girls wear bonnets. Men wearing bonnets, women wearing bonnets. We all wearing bonnets now. Mom, why don't you start wearing a bonnet? It might help your hair come out smooth and a more teen. Mommy, you put a bonnet on so she can see mommy wearing a bonnet. But yeah, definitely get a child-sized bonnet. And those sometimes can be specially ordered online because typically what you're going to see in the store are adult-sized bonnets. And then their last question was ways to become better at doing edges. I do use a small comb and my fingers as well as the band to set it, but her edges end up looking like bangs, and for the life of me, I can't seem to freestyle. Her edges look like bangs because she does not have the more kinky type of hair that product will grip onto and would lay it down. Furthermore, she's a baby, so all of her hair is baby hair. Do not do the baby hair and edges. You're just asking for breakage and extra tension and extra product and possible dryness on a child's hair. She does not need done edges. She does not need done edges. She is 3 years old. 3! My main thing with this overall is this baby don't need box braids at all. She doesn't need to get used to protective styles. Like, she has silky curly hair. Mom, learn how to define her curls and let her just wear her hair out. My niece, who is 3, just wears a little mini fro. Like, that is how her hair is done, and it's cute and it's age appropriate, especially because my niece, I don't know if she stopped doing this because they do live in Indiana, but my niece puts her hand in her hair and like pulls like this. Like, you think I'm gonna waste styling product and effort on someone who's literally doing this to where the curls are all pulled out by the end of the day? Like, I know that her mom might occasionally like pop in like cute little pigtails or something like that. And I feel like if you want to do braided styles, do like, you know, put in a ponytail or two. I'm sure you know how to do a ponytail, and then do a braid or a twist or something, and then secure it with some cute little barrettes or something like that, or like do the thing where they do the two braids and then you use a barrette to combine them, so now you have a ponytail with two braids. It's super cute. There are so many cute little kids hairstyles that you can have your child wear that are just super cute, doesn't require a whole lot of effort, and won't apply as much tension and stress on your child's hair, and then you're not extending tons of effort on child's hair. Because children be rolling around on the ground and doing all types of crazy stuff with their head. And I just don't think it's worth spending so much effort and time on children's hair. Y'all, sound off in the comments. Like, what advice would you give to these people? What do you think would be most helpful and valuable for them to either understand or to know, or maybe even a recommendation if you are familiar with that particular brush that the first person was trying to get. If you love seeing me react to stuff, I actually have a video where I am reacting to the products that I love getting horrible reviews. So I'm actually reading really crappy reviews of stuff that I actually like and recommend on my channel. Go check that video out. It needs a little bit more love. Subscribe, invite me to your subscriptions page. I post videos every week, and I will talk to you in the next one.